So how are things going with the laminated boarding travel sheets now that we have those in place? Has it,
I still like them as long as I get them.
Yep, they're doing good.
Oh, the
If it
boarding
always
ones?
get them.
Yeah, she's
I've
talking
seen
about
them, I
the
don't know,
boarding
sorry,
ones.
not the boarding ones.
the boarding ones are working
Yeah,
well?
I've seen them, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah. As far as boarding goes, with us getting busy, is there anything that our seasoned staff wants anybody to know in the next couple days with check-in? I know making sure people fill it out correctly is important.
Maybe making sure if they have time, and if they don't have time, make sure somebody knows if they put animals back in the back, if they are supposed to get any bedding put in there or have water. So we had one the other day that was back there all day long, that was came in the morning and had nothing in the cage, no water, no bedding. And of course, Emily was the one that went back and took care of them, which you guys would probably, if there's any of you guys taking care of them, you'd realize, okay, the dog probably needs water, probably needs something in the cage, or you just come and ask. So
Okay.
make
Yeah,
sure,
please, I will never say, no, I don't have time to take care of that.
just make sure
Have to
that,
do it.
you know, cause I know you go back to some, put animals in the,
Yeah.
and run back up front, and you go to lunch later, and somebody else is taking care of the back, so
Mhm.
we just need to make sure Emily is aware of that, you know.
Everybody's aware of it.
Well, I mean,
And then.
make her aware, so.
And as far as like making sure that everything's entered, like when they get here, like charges wise, cause I know that usually with a crazy checkout process, that sometimes gets like
With the
lost.
travel sheet.
Yeah, the travel sheet though, that should cover that. Yeah, I think it does.
And
Any,
even if you have to do that at the end of the night when we're checking the boarding.
oh, okay,
that's
yeah,
fine too.
gotcha, okay, just to make sure that it gets done.
That's usually when I check for the sheets,
Okay,
if I have time. Don't have time before then.
gotcha. Is that hyena? Anything else as far as travel sheets or any other like important business that needs to be?
Secondary container labels. So when we dispense medications in a pill bottle with another bottle inside of it, that bottle inside needs a label and the bottle on the outside needs a label. So twice now I've had people bring me back ear medications that were dispensed inside of a really cool blue bottle that had a label on it, but there's no label on the ear medication. So if those things get separated, by law, that has to be marked. So if we're dispensing a medication without a label inside of a bottle with a label, that's not adequate. Everything has to be labeled. So so we do it with our Bupronex. When we dispense those Bupronex vials, the Bupronex gets a label and then the bottle on the outside gets a label. That's the way that should happen. No prescription medication should ever leave this building without a primary label on the bottle itself.
Does it have to be in the blue bottle, or can you just put the?
I don't care.
Oh, okay, as
So
long
I
as-
think Dr. Sadko likes her ear medications and a syringe inside of the blue
So if you're gonna
bottle,
do both,
which
make
is
sure
cool.
they're both labeled.
Exactly,
Okay.
we just need labels on everything that leaves the building.
I think the reason I do the bottle in the blue bottle is cause the label on the meds by itself will get all gross
It looks nicer
after
too,
a while.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's fine.
So at
Wow.
least the label on the bottles read up, or the blue containers read
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
It's just a legality, everything.
Well,
needs
it's
to have a label.
the whole secondary container.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they get separated and a little kid drinks half of it and they go in the
Right, what
emergency
is
room
that?
with mystery yellow liqued, they
Right.
kinda need to know what's kid ingested.
Like, we'll probably
You know
know
what I
it's
mean?
Inederm, but what if it's Mevitamax and it's white, or it's Genazol and it's white, we don't know what, all we know is we've got a white vial of.
These don't look,
medication.
they don't always look at instructions anyway, so. It's amazing sometimes, but, well, I've been given a pill twice a day, it's like, the instructions are right there, typed for you. Like,
Okay, that's good,
Autopilot.
good to know. Anything else? Anything anybody else can think
Anything
of?
right offhand?
Oh, if you're working up front, just make sure like we're keeping track of like creating out the second receipt for rebates. So that's been kind of a big thing lately.
So we talked about wellness blood work last time for like senior as well as just all pets. We are going to put an option for individuals to get a total body.
I think we're gonna do basically
Plus
an
two.
in-house total body for cats and dogs. But the total body for dog, of course, I guess we could probably still do the T4 too, like we're doing cats. I'm trying to, I may fine tune it because like say, probably most likely a cat less than 5 to 6 years old. I guess what's the youngest most cats with thyroid is about? They can be as young as 6 to 7, can't they, with thyroid disease? They can.
Yeah.
So I wanna, cover that T4 with the cats for sure at a certain age. But I wanna put together a package plan like with our yearly annual to allow them to get a massively discounted, profile. Cause there's so many of those animals that come in year after year after year after year after year, and they're 4 or 5 years old when then others heartworm test on them. And they may very well be in good health, but it'd be nice to get a baseline on them and maybe even get them in the habit of doing yearly blood work on their animals, because you figure as time goes on, vaccines are becoming more and more, probably every 3 years, with the exception maybe lepto and bordetella, but I think it's something at least put together something that might attract them.
I mean, it's something I personally do with all my own pets from the time they're a year old on. I do
Yeah.
blood work every year, so.
For some
why
people,
shouldn't we offer the same
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
for clients?
Yeah.
For some people, it's an issue of cost. When they come in for the yearly stuff, they only allot so much money for that, and you add another $60 or $70. But if they know it's 60 or 70, and it's normally
Yeah.
150 or 60,
So I was
then
gonna say, is it gonna be a cheaper panel you're offering?
it's going to be the same panel, but I'm going to charge a cheaper price.
So
It's,
they
on-
have
it's
to do
only
it
it's
with
only
it.
with annual wellnesses.
Offered as a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be like an add-on to the annual wellness package.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't just get the cheap price annual blood work with a problem visit.
So do they have to like comply with the whole package?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
not
so-
just,
It's not pick and choose. No.
Because all too often, I think those people think that they're getting more than what they're actually getting. There was a thing on Facebook a couple weeks ago that said, but you just did blood work equals had a heartworm test.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that people think that they're actually getting, because all they see is we draw blood.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that they think they're getting blood work, so let's really do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had people do that when they drop
Yeah,
off
but you
for
guys just did
surgeries.
blood work.
You did blood work.
But we did a heartworm test.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, and if they are coming, it may make the not compliance, but it may make it easier for like dentals. Like if we already have blood work on file.
Yeah, cut
Then-
some time out that morning.
Yeah. So if we have all of our
Well, and it
those-
cuts out any of those questions too, you know what I mean? Now suddenly I've got a cat whose kidney values are elevated, if only I would have known that beforehand.
yeah.
Clean people.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I will work with him on getting the exact profile, and we can put it on the boarding form. Not boarding form, on the check-in form. So,
Yeah, cause we could figure out how to do that if we're gonna have two separate
I think should just be an
Ones or-
add-on, like a, Like
an add-on.
yeah, an annual blood work so you would be entering,
And put like highly recommended for everybody, highly recommended for pets over
Yeah.
5 or pets over 7 or whatever
Yeah.
age we want it as.
5 is our our surgery
Yeah.
cutoff, so, yeah.
So highly recommended for pets over 5.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I think we can just make it easier by putting like a extra box and then a
Or just
So,
panel.
wellness panel, yeah.
I have a question then on, so you know how there's those ones that come in for whatever and they end up prepaying for their annual wellness?
Yeah.
So is it like if you prepay for your annual wellness, you get the annual wellness blood work, or it doesn't apply to prepays?
Well,
You know what I mean?
It should.
yeah, it should
Yeah.
apply. Yeah,
Okay.
they just have
They
to
would
enter
be
that separate
pre-planned
charge.
for the blood work too.
Yeah, they'd be
Okay.
prepaying. So either, I guess they could get the blood work done that day
Yeah.
if they were getting the one vaccine, or then get it whenever they come back for the remainder of it.
Cause like some of them, they're like coughing or something, so you don't wanna do their vaccines,
But they wanna get it
or,
all.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, I think
So it would still apply.
follow that procedure.
I think that's also helpful though too, for those animals that come in that want vaccines, but they've been vomiting for 3 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
And suddenly you've got a
Well, see, that's
better
what-
reason to do blood work and it's actually
Yeah.
cheaper for them too.
Yeah, see, that's where I was getting at it, cause then they're kind of a sick pet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it actually
But we're
behooves
doing
them
it
to
as
do it.
prepaid
Yeah.
annual wellness,
Yeah.
so is that a charge as like a sick
Well,
pet blood
if
work,
they,
or is
well,
that
if they're
a
coming
charge
in for
annual
vaccines, I mean, if they guess your schedule is a problem, my personal thought is that we don't wanna include that as a package price type
Also, would we
person.
need more?
If it's a
detail?
minor problem, like an ear infection or something, and you find that, okay, they're due for vaccines,
Then it's
occasionally,
fine.
my feeling is they're here, they're due or overdue.
Okay.
My priority is to, because overall we're gonna make more off the total package than we're gonna make
Yeah.
off just an office visit and a couple medications
Also,
going
you're
home.
getting them all taken care of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the ones that Jeanette was talking about, where they come in for vaccines, oh yeah, he hasn't eaten in 3 weeks, but we wanna get his vaccines.
Literally had that last week.
So on
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
My
guys,
dog
I was
just
like-
ate all of my
Those
blood
are the
pressure
ones-
medicine, but he's due for shots.
those are the ones that are like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I
Do
think
they get the
yeah.
annual wellness price on blood work?
I think
I'm always
those-
torn with that sometimes, I mean, really, cause in all reality, a comprehensive yearly annual physical versus a problem visit, cause you're dealing with a problem
Yeah,
as well as the
that's right.
exam, whereas the other, you're just basically assessing the animal for vaccination and its overall health, so it's like, that's why
We
I'm
should
always
take-
like,
We should take it up case by case. I mean, I think with the annual wellness package, that hasn't been an issue, like, or it is a rare issue, like, I've had
Right.
people come
But
and
if
ask.
we add blood work into it, it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to
Yeah,
know what to do, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Know
Yeah.
what to do.
Navigate
yeah,
as well.
and we might have to put some stipulations in the check-in form that's like,
Only
If you're-
if
if
it's,
you- well, and if it's like, oh, your dog needs more involved blood work, we're not gonna give them that and then add on whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense for that,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just something that we're,
those
We'll
gray,
have to
there's
think
there's
about
occasional
it.
gray areas, yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's,
how we wanna deal with the gray areas.
yeah, I mean, I always try to be as fair as I can, and a lot of times I also look at the client to a certain extent, you know, what type of client are they? Are they an A client, are they a B client, are they like a person that shows up every 2 or 3 years? You know, because you're being willing to cater to the people that cater to us, that, you know, whereas that person that, you know, comes in every 3 years for a problem, that's all they come in for, it's like, I don't feel like I really wanna always do a favor for them, because they're not really supporting the practice to start with, you know? They're only coming in every 3 years, it's not like they're
Yeah.
the cream of the crop, so.
Well, yeah, I'll get more information out on that shortly. And then we got spelling test.
Guys wanna take a spelling test?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Do you want it recorded?
No, you can turn it off now.